Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. A bloodbath across global stock markets this week, and crypto eventually followed lower. I'm going to talk about all that and all the headlines. I had a very relaxing weekend down the Huon Valley in Tasmania, and I'm going to explain this photo that we snapped after a 1 hour bushwalk into the middle of nowhere at the end of this presentation. So stick around for that if you want. First off, on this day in history, and I can't believe it's been 4 years since the media jumped all over Dorian Nakamoto. They thought they'd found Satoshi. They found a gentleman that went by the same or similar name, and he came out with plans to sue them. They harassed him that much. The news reporters constantly following him around and visiting his home and so on. So crazy stuff. I can't believe that's been 4 years since that happened. I've got another article on this day in history. I'm going to tie that into the news as we move through the presentation, though. Another, I guess, on this day in history, chart guys have been around for a couple of years now, and they only had 1,000 subscribers since I started watching their, oil and gold analysis to help with my options trading a few years ago. And here they are, just 2 years later, surpassing 100,000. These guys do so much for free, and their premium community of traders. So, congratulations, guys. I know plenty of you are big fans of Dan and the chart guys as well. Into the news. So, as I said, Wall Street, huge 1,400 point 2-day plunge. We saw a bit of a bounce towards the end of the week, but there really is all this talk of trade fears, rising interest rates. I'm not going to go into it too much, guys, because I talked about this in so much detail during the week. Now, you guys have been loving these Wall Street manipulation, history of money interviews. The Ask Nugget show this week, I did a special edition about how rising interest rates will affect stock markets, cryptocurrency, credit card, your mortgage, the economy. Tied that all together, and we had just so much great feedback, so I do appreciate that, guys. Interviewing this CZ's right-hand man. I'm going to talk about CZ a little bit later on in this presentation as well. And Elastos, you guys have been asking me to cover that in my detailed fundamental analysis, and that one jumped 20% the next day. So well done to those that have been, I guess, dollar cost averaging or might have bought some Elastos for the first time after that video. Compound interest is such a powerful thing, so I really recommend you check out this video, guys. We got so many comments that can you really turn $10,000 into $1.2 million in 4 years just by making 10% or 10% trade a month? And it's powerful stuff to the upside as well as to the downside. I didn't want to be all doom and gloom, but as I said, guys, I really recommend you check out those interviews and videos we did last week. So I did tweet out this poll a couple of pages and on Twitter. Do you know how to short? Because I know it's all doom and gloom, and I make these videos to try and cater for a wide audience of all experience levels, but we've had a number of people that have been making tremendous amounts of money shorting on the downside, and I really believe, guys, this is a life skill to learn about options and shorting and trading. So interesting, about 35% of people saying yes, and that was the same across all places that I surveyed. But I guess if you fall into this 65%, you can only make money on the way up. So you're already giving yourself, you're half out of the game. You're only playing 2 out of 4 quarters. However you want to think of it, guys, put yourself in that category to be making money on the way up and on the way down in crypto markets, in traditional markets, in options markets. It really is lifelong financial education. And again, to get messages like this from someone like Chris, who I know he won't mind me saying, I reached out and said, can I use this and show people? Because last year, Chris got liquidated on Bitfinex, learning to trade on margin, all that sort of thing. And he messaged me saying, 8.4% profit shorting Ethereum recently. He walked out of his biology exam and had just paid for his overseas holiday, guys. I love getting these sort of messages. So well done to Chris and the other guys that have been making money shorting lately. I posted this as well. During the week, I spoke about those videos about when volatility, everyone's panicking and there's blood in the streets. There is so much, money to be made, and there's premium in the options markets. And I got a lot of messages about this tweet. So where's the best place to learn options? So Tasty Trade have a free YouTube channel with a lot of good content out there, guys, and I speak about this to my members as well. But I sold some puts in the gold ETF and 60% profit in one day. If this is all a bit of a foreign language to you, it is not scary stuff. It's very easy to learn. So Tasty Trade is a good place to start. And as always, guys, join our group if you want to chat about this stuff 24/7. I want to move on to CZ. So, a huge fan, and there's not enough of these, really genuinely good people in the space that care about crypto. So, CZ wrote this idea of charity and contributions years ago. Everyone's jumping on board and messaging me saying, let CZ know that Horizon State have what they need with their app. And sure enough, thank you to everyone that likes and retweets and supports it. And CZ, followed me back. Sent me a message. He reached out. He was very keen, obviously, to check it out, as he stated here publicly. And I'm not going to say too much else, guys, out of respect and confidentiality. But it's great. And thank you to everyone that helped get, Horizon State and their charity app on the radar of someone like CZ. And as important as Binance, it would be nothing better than if they end up using that app to help with their charity initiative that they launched during the week after reshaping their fee listing model. I did put that to Facebook, guys. You can follow me. I've already touched on that, but yeah, I guess when CZ follows 55 people in the world and to become the 56th, I guess bit of a proud moment and a bit of a brag there. But moving on, guys. So tomorrow we are in Melbourne. Security tokens. We get so many questions about those. It's a bit of a hot topic right now. I definitely believe it's going to be an important part of the future. So we've got some big guest speakers there, guys. Rick Klink has just come back from Malta, where he was with CZ of Binance as well, to launch the Malta Stock Exchange. If you want to know about security tokens, we'll try and record that as well. You guys said you want us to come to Sydney as well next month, because we have had hundreds of people say that they want to attend this event. So free food and drink. Hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Now, Coinbase added their first Ethereum token, and 0x is a project that we first covered on YouTube with fundamental analysis when it was 30 cents, and earlier than that for members as well. This is a great project. Great projects have good announcements, guys. We shouldn't be surprised. If you followed my work, you probably know what the next few tokens are that I believe that Coinbase is going to list. And again, it's a tough time for markets. I know when they're going sideways and down, but we starting to see these little pockets. I've got my Wabi hoodie on. That was up a couple of 100% this week. Coinbase adding 0x. It has a big jump that day. There is money to be made if you're picking the good coins, if you're trading well. So the more you put in, the more you get out of it. And that's what we want. We don't want that situation where retail investors are just flooding into one thing, it goes up, and you're requiring on more people just rushing in for the assets to go up. I love the fact that people that are doing their research and fundamentals and learning the trading craft are the ones that are starting to make money. So it's great to see and good to see Coinbase starting to list some good quality projects. On the other side of this, we did have one of Coinbase executives leave Coinbase, and at the time you sort of think, geez, why would someone like Adam White leave one of the biggest companies in the world, valued at $8 billion as this article says? And it came out later that he was joining Backed, and this is the product that people are starting to talk about. This, it doesn't have that same excitement as the ETF and expectation, but if you're leaving somewhere like Coinbase to join Backed, you must be pretty confident that they're doing something big and special. And we also sort of had during the news this week that Coinbase are taking a step back from their institutional index fund product that they were offering. Now, I don't know if they jumped into that too soon, and at the time there was a lot of demand from that sort of institutional investor, and they wanted to have cater for every sort of investor. But I definitely have always seen Coinbase as that retail investor focused. Brian Armstrong said his mission is to get mass adoption and more people in countries all over the world. So for me to see them saying, look, we're not going down that path, there wasn't huge demand, it doesn't mean that there's no demand from institutional investors per se. They might be going through Gemini, or they don't want to be using something that's very publicly facing. They all want to do it secretive, behind closed doors, OTC, whatever that is. But I think it's a good thing that Coinbase can focus on what their real passion is, and that's getting in these new wave of people with an easy user interface, a nice friendly app, onboarding process, and so on. Next up, we did have SpankChain, one of my favorite projects. Funny name, but they have been leading the way with technology with their version of the Lightning Network that allowed you to pay the actors, workers, whatever you want to call them, the professionals, and cut out that middleman, which is the whole purpose of cryptocurrency. Now, they did have a weakness in their Lightning Network or their state channels, but the hacker actually returned the stolen funds. And that's, I guess, maybe he's an Ethereum fan, I don't know, but you just don't see this too often, so that's great to see. They did give him a $9,000 reward. SpankChain had already paid back anyone that was affected by the hack, so the coming together of both sides of the community is a little bit unusual here, a bit like the project name, but this was a feel-good story, I guess, I wanted to share with you. Ethereum's Constantinople upgrade did not go to plan. So on the testnet, we obviously do the hard forks first. Ethereum's testnet Rompston went to activate this network upgrade, the hard fork at this block number, and it stalled. Now, a bit of FUD going around already, guys. All that happened was that this is on a weekend. There wasn't enough clients upgrade their software. So you've got to run a node on the Rompston test network and so on, and miners just didn't upgrade. Whether they were all away on the weekend, there wasn't enough people supporting the network, obviously. But look, nothing that I'm too worried about. A lot of people are going to be saying that, this means Ethereum's not going to hard fork. It's going to be years away. This is going to cause a bit of FUD, guys, but honestly, I don't think this is anything too much to worry about, but keep an eye on the news in the coming days. Yobit had a pump and dump this week, and this hit my email, and I honestly thought it was a scam email that must have been circulating, and then thanks to JP, who tagged me in this, and a few other people on Twitter saying, you need to speak about this. This is crazy that this is happening. A somewhat reputable exchange deliberately doing a pump and dump and saying that we're going to pump in Bitcoin into an altcoin and you're not going to know what it is. And guys, don't be part of this. As always, I say, vote with your money. Take your funds out of these exchanges. Stick to the reputable ones. All that sort of thing, because this is just, as I said, pathetic. I don't condone this in any way, but it's shocking that this is happening. And if this happens in more exchanges, just refuse to use them. This comes back to that China factor that the best friend or worst enemy, I guess, is the thing that I keep saying. Now, I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago in our members group, that I think China are definitely going down this path of possibly launching their own stablecoin. And then we saw these headlines come out this week. Maybe that's a coincidence, who knows? But central banks saying that if they can get this stablecoin, I think that's far more likely that they then say, okay, we can now track everyone's, crypto fiat, so to speak, and now we can open the floodgates to ICOs, bring back exchanges. But one thing I've always said is that China want to be in control. They don't want to not know what's going on and have capital, money fleeing their country and so on. We saw it go into Australian housing, in Vancouver, in New Zealand. Money was trying to get out of China, and they want to clamp down on that. They want to be in control. If they issue their own stable coin, a bit like the Petro or whatnot, state-backed coins, you guys know that I don't believe in them, but if it's just a little stable coin and that means that China's going to come back in a big way, maybe that's a good thing. Let me know what you think below. Unconfirmed, these rumors coming out of China, it's so hard to know what's true and what's not. Tron is another one that's can be a little bit divisive in the community, but rumors going around that Tron may be partnering with Baidu, who's the Google of China. So let's see what comes of that. One thing I've always said about some of these projects that certainly got pushed or pumped very hard last year, they've got large market caps, they've had big ICOs, they've got a lot of money in the bank, they've got a war chest. So even if they're not rolling out, constant developments, new wallets or whatever it is. Now, Tron have got mainnet, so, hats off to them. You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of them since they plagiarized their white paper. They've got some big claims. They're going to be hundreds of times faster than Ethereum and, hundreds of times, I can't remember if it was cheaper than EOS, whatever it may be, guys. Always a little bit cautious, a little bit tongue-in-cheek here, but if you've got a war chest, you're going to have the money to buy some big partnerships and keep things going. Now, whether or not that ends up attracting more people and it succeeds in the long run, just be aware that I'd rather see technological development than necessarily just constantly buying partnerships. South Korean regulators reaffirm their negative stance. So we've been reading articles that they may be coming around, and there's been certain ministers saying that we want to open the doors and rethink this, and then they kind of come out and say, no, nothing's changed just yet. Now, we've seen this in China before where they, as I said, they want to be in control. They don't want any of these rumors to get out that it may be happening or may not. They will get things on their terms and allow what they're happy to allow and comfortable to allow when they're ready. So until then, don't be surprised that these countries come out and say, no, nothing's changed. We're very firm on our stance. And then who knows if they flip-flop a couple of weeks later. $350 million to buy a stake in Korea's largest exchange. Now, I pronounce this one Bithum. I've heard Bithum. As always, guys, it's tough to pronounce these different exchanges. But Coinbase being valued at $8 billion. We see all these companies with a lot of money. Binance coming over and supporting Travel by Bit in Australia. It's great to see these players moving around and confidence coming in, and big consortium of Singaporean businessmen sort of coming in and backing these exchanges. They're here for the long run. They believe this is a good investment. It should be a bit of a vote of confidence, and everyone's sort of reshuffling behind the scenes here, guys. That infrastructure that we keep talking about in preparation for that next bull run, which it feels like it's been forever, but it's certainly all we can say is we're getting closer every day. The big story this week has probably been more Bitfinex rumors, and they have been struggling a little bit with the banks. Now, they came out and said, look, we're not insolvent. Everyone in history that's ever been insolvent has said they're not insolvent. I actually don't believe Bitfinex are insolvent. I believe, like all crypto businesses, every day the businesses that we help and deal with tell us that their bank accounts get shut down, and that puts delays and strains on that fiat to crypto on-ramp, off-ramp. It doesn't affect crypto operations. They publicly put out their cold wallet addresses to show you how much Bitcoin, Ethereum, I believe EOS it was. They've got those funds there, guys. It is just these hold-ups and delays where they're interfacing with the banking system. So at the moment, I'm not too worried. Tether is trading at a discount to $1. I spoke about that in more detail during the week, but I'll touch on that as well during the price and analysis just shortly, guys. But I think that difference is going to be arbitraged away. So if Tether's trading for 97 cents, I think on different exchanges, even if it's not Bitfinex, we're going to see that whether it's bots or traders continue to bring that back. I believe, because I just don't think that Bitfinex is going to explode like some of these conspiracy theories say. As always, though, it's not a good idea to have a large amount of funds on these exchanges anyway. Whatever you're comfortable to trade with, and that's all you should have on there. Cryptocurrency will make the web look like a cute experiment. So this is the Circle CEO. We've seen Circle take a bullish stance on crypto this year, and I just wanted to introduce a couple of these articles this week, because for every we'll talk about Nouriel Roubini just shortly, but for every person that's slamming crypto and the Jamie Dimons of the world, we've got these big bullish price predictions or CEOs that have that vested interest, and it's one by one we'll see more people that have that vested interest, that have a large amount of crypto. They're happy with what they got, and then they start pushing out these headlines and stories and so on. Goldman Sachs, Gary Cohen, he has left Goldman Sachs, former president, but more and more of this movement that we see, we spoke about this with Crypto Recruit the other day, that they're pulling a lot of people from high-paying bank jobs and from Wall Street and putting them into these blockchain startups that need the business brains and so on. And it depends how you feel about the banking system and Goldman Sachs, whether or not you think this is a good thing that these types of individuals are coming into the space or not. And I guess this leads into the next story I wanted to talk about. So this is the launch of the Liquid Network. Now, Liquid Network is, again, similar to the Lightning Network in some ways. It's a second layer solution. So it's a way for a side chain, I guess you can think of it as a side network for run by Blockstream, who are the same people behind Lightning Network. And it's a way for all these exchanges to send crypto to each other without going through, the Bitcoin network itself, as it were, the decentralized network. So I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of this style. And I don't mind the Lightning Network if we get a lot of nodes and decentralization, and we can increase the amounts that we get put through it and all that sort of thing. I don't want it to be centralized, that too much of a hub and spoke model. And I certainly don't want it to be, only privately run nodes, as is in the Liquid network, where they are the beneficiaries for all these exchanges. This isn't what Bitcoin was envisioned to be. And this is this day in history that I want you guys to realize. This is an article from 2015. Blockstream are launching their first sidechain for Bitcoin exchanges, the Liquid network. And obviously, guys, it didn't take off. So they're trying this again. It's not the first time it's happened that we've seen these headlines. We need Bitcoin to scale in that decentralized fashion, where it's still the community's coin. It can't be censored. If a bank rings up or a government rings up Blockstream and Liquid and says, hey, shut down those funds, that is not what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is really all about. So let me know what you think about that below. Do you buy into the theory that Blockstream is trying to destroy cryptocurrency? I think as long as we have thousands of nodes across the world, and Lightning Network is, I guess, optional, and we have lots of decentralization of the Lightning Network, that's okay in my books. But I'm certainly been open-minded, guys. I'll try and give you unbiased information wherever possible, because the Bitcoin Cash crowd are the ones that tend to give me a pretty hard time, and certainly let you know about it if you're not agreeing with them, I guess is the right way to put it. So the big tweet storm back and forward, Rubini here, Nuriel Rubini coming out, Dr. Doom, and just giving crypto an absolute smashing, and the crypto crowd, the influencers, white supremacists, paranoid. I'm not even going to read out some of this stuff, guys. It's actually offensive, some of the things he said. He tweeted about Bitcoin in the past, but look, in summary, if you haven't read this, guys, crypto is the mother of all scams and now burst bubble. Blockchain, most overhyped technology ever, no better than a spreadsheet or a database. And he testified to Congress with all this. A number of people are saying, well, get out there and let's get Andreas to, have a debate, or at least, what's the word I'm looking for here, guys? Man the debate. Sorry, mind blank in the comments below. Let me know that word that's escaping me here, guys. But I like that Andreas has come out here and said that he's, this is a waste of time. Opinions won't determine the outcome. This is all about ego. People have got plenty of sources to decide, and it really is people like Andreas and CZ, the really good people that we don't have enough of. And I hate when we see these Jimmy Song versus Roger Ver and all this sort of stuff back and forward. It doesn't help anyone. If anything, it puts people off joining this space. So, let me know your thoughts on all that below. And I don't want to see that debate happen between Vitalik, to be honest. And I think crypto Twitter wasted way too much energy on a guy who passed at $50 Bitcoin. He was tweeting and laughing at Bitcoin at $50, guys. So some of these people have given the worst advice in history. They couldn't have been more wrong. As I said, economists in general, they're the only professionals that are wrong more than the weatherman, and yet we give them these boxes to stand on, and we give them too much airtime, I believe. So let's move on. I don't want to waste more energy on that one as well. So crypto, let's have a look at these markets. So frustrating for me that we had that huge red day in the stock markets, and crypto was held up for 10 hours before it also fell off a cliff. But the good news is, guys, we're still in this tightening range. So I've now got the Coinbase price and Bitfinex, which is trading at around $140 premium because of that tether difference. So because Bitcoin is priced in tether on Bitfinex, you're now dividing by 99 cents, 98 cents, whatever it is, it's under $1. So you're giving Bitcoin what looks to be a higher value, but that is because of that premium that we're currently seeing in tether. So nothing has changed a lot since last week, guys. We're still in this tightening pattern. It's going to come to a head in the next week or two, as we've said a number of times. The date that we're looking for a boost is the 21st of October for our cycle brackets. Ethereum hasn't had a jump just in the past couple of hours like Bitcoin has, up a couple $100. Litecoin had some good news in the week. getting added to Gemini. You guys know that I believe this is going to have a lot of value long term, but look for the little pockets of strength. As I said, something like Wabi here, I can't find any particular good announcement other that they're having a new community chat where they're going to be openly discussing founders and updates instead of having all the bots in Telegram. But this is one that we really recommended at 12 cents again recently and covered for you guys. And to see it spike up to 30 cents and to see it breaking the trend, you guys know that nothing excites me more than when we see good coins moving independently, whether it's Elastos, Wabi, the list goes on, 0x this week, listing on Coinbase. So that's one thing that excites me, guys. Hopefully we can continue to do our fundamental analysis and find those coins that are going to move independently of a Bitcoin sideways or even bear market. I still believe that the best time to buy, guys, and dollar cost average is during these big corrections. Learn how to short in case we go lower. If you can make a bit more money and then put that back into your favorite coins at a lower price, it's a win-win. So the best projects are easily going to do 1,000% from these lows. Not 1,000x, guys, 1,000%. And that's pretty, I think that's very underballing, if anything. I think you guys know that some of the best projects could even do 10,000% or more from where we are, particularly if we have another leg lower. So that's it for the way of the news, guys. I am going to tell that story for those of you that are interested. And as always, check out nuggetsnews.com.au for more information. Let's move on to this photo. So we were in the Huon, beautiful part of the world. A couple of hours drive from where I live, about half an hour out of Hobart. A friend and I said, let's go on a bushwalk. Beautiful day. One of the mates I was with, we'd been walking for an hour up this hill, very steep, very thick bush. Lucky to not see any snakes, to be honest. And we ran into a nice old fellow, and he said, look, go up the road. There's a beautiful view. You're almost there to the summit. My daughter lives there with her husband, and they've got 7 daughters, and all sounding a little bit weird, a bit different at this stage. We were in the middle of nowhere, as you can see from this photo, and sure enough, they were a really nice family living sustainably off the grid. I know Charlie Man Dan would love this one. Very friendly. You see the dog there. You see the youngest daughter running around in the bush, happy to show us around. She told us she'd had actually trodden on a snake a couple of days earlier. But to meet those people that are living completely off the grid, self-sustainable, solar power, growing their own fruit and vegetables, breath of fresh air. You guys know that I love that side of things. To get away from the crypto markets for 48 hours, to take in nature, there really is nothing better, guys, and it puts it all into perspective. And that night we had a fire, and a friend's 30th that lives down this way, and talking to people, different trades, farmers and so on that hadn't heard of Bitcoin, and telling them about Bitcoin. And yeah, the first thing I guess they get excited about is when they hear how much the price has gone up. But the message I really wanted to get across, guys, is like, money has never been the aim for myself. It's not, money doesn't buy you happiness. It's the relationships you form in life. It's getting out there, enjoying nature. Meditation is certainly something that changed my life. Meeting people, getting out of your comfort zone. The friend I was with, Jared, certainly pushed me to keep going when we'd walk past 3 or 4 no trespassing signs, and we thought we'd seen a few snakes and whatever, and it's just good to get out of that comfort zone. So I'll certainly be exploring Tassie and getting away more. You've got to spend some time away from the screen to keep your sanity. So I hope you've enjoyed that little story, guys. We all got out of there alive. We met a great family in the middle of nowhere and made it back to safety to tell the story, and got a few good photos along the way. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share these videos around, and thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers.